It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. We got another Festbier. One of those lovely Festbiers that Lidl bring out every now and again. Well, once a year, Oktoberfest, September, early October 2025, this one. And this is their wheat Festbier, their Perlenbacher wheat Festbier. They have another lager as well, a Festbier lager, which is absolutely terrific. And I hope you have the opportunity to pick it up because it's really tasty. But we're going with the wheat one because I don't think I've reviewed this one, half litre can. They just mix it up a little bit every year, do Lidl. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. Now there's been a few people saying, why didn't I do the box this year, the suitcase box of beers from Lidl? And well, my Lidl in Barry sold out really quickly. And then when I had a look, you know the little Lidl leaflet you have? You can have a look on your phone. The digital leaflet of what's kind of what with Lidl. I had a look and there was like 3 beers that were changed out this year. So it would have meant me drinking 7 beers which I had last year. And they're good German beers, but they're not great German beers. So I thought for the 7 kind of average German beers, I think it was about 30 quid as well. I thought I'm not going to start chasing around Lidl's for a suitcase of beer, which I've already reviewed 7 of the 10 beers. Anyway, Weissbier in the glass. We've got a 1 finger, slightly off-white head. Good levels of carbonation on this one. A lovely looking Weissbier. Hazy. And the other thing as well is that I picked up a mini keg. I've got some kind of Festbier mini keg to review very soon on the channel. So that'll be probably reviewed this Friday so I can drink the rest. Aroma then on this beer. There's no sediment in the bottom of the glass. They're just solid. They're just really solid Weissbiers. Now, I spent the weekend drinking Franziskaner. I've drunk Franziskaner Friday and Saturday night. I'm now reviewing this on Monday. So it's fresh in my head, Franziskaner. And this is just, I mean, extremely similar to a premium Weissbier. Sweet, sort of clovey, spicy, peppery, banana. Yeah, it smells really good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. That's utterly phenomenal Weissbier. Stone the crows. Stone the crows. It's very, very good. It's got a lovely, rich, creamy mouthfeel. Now, what I could have done here, and possibly should have done, was bought a bottle of Perlenbacher Patronus. That's Lidl's standard Weissbier that's on the shelf all year round. I used to buy a lot of that. And then I stopped. I stopped because it got a bit too bready. Now, I've not had Patronus for probably 18 months. A year to 18 months. And I probably should revisit it. Should give it another go. But I just felt it become a little bit too bready, a little bit too malty. It wasn't doing what this is doing. and that is being a terrific Weissbier with loads of banana flavour, cloves and spices. It's the drinkability for me. It's that creamy, rich mouthfeel for me that does it. How much did I pay for this? It was going to be, this is going to be about £1.59 a can. About £1.59 a can. That's the price that's stuck in my head. It's around that sort of price. So really good price for the premium German Weissbier. A little bit of sweetness to begin with. You do get a little bit of malt, but I don't want it to be predominantly kind of like dominated by malt. This is not. This is not dominated by malt. This is dominated by wonderful yeasty, banana-y, clovey flavours. So the yeast in the beer is what gives that banana, that clove, that spices. If you're new to craft beer, if you purchased this in Lidl and you found this review almost by accident, to explain it to you, it's the yeast that's offering that banana flavour, that clove flavour, which is remarkable, isn't it? There is some sweet malt, there is a little bit of bitterness on the back end, so the beer's balanced. But if you think about it, that sort of banana flavour, that spice and that banana flavour combined with that creamy, rich mouthfeel, for me, that's what makes Weissbier one of the best styles of beer in the world, and something that I tend to fall back on. I have in my collection about 8 different Weissbier glasses. I always seem to settle on the Perlenbacher. I do. That's probably my favourite Weissbier glass, is the Perlenbacher. But I drink Weissbier an awful lot. Along with a cup, what I like to do is to have a couple of lagers first, a couple of good German lagers, and then 3 or 4 German Weissbiers after, listening to some music. That, for the £1.59 price point, is absolutely terrific Weissbier, it really is. Let's see where it's brewed. Brewed with the finest ingredients. I'd like to think this has been brewed in Germany. It tastes very much like Franziskaner. It wouldn't surprise me if it was contract brewed by Franziskaner. It's very similar. Just Lidl, Stiftung & Co. It sounds like this has been produced in Germany. In fact, I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to stick my neck out and say this has been brewed in Germany. This is authentic German Weissbier. I'm not sure on the Perlenbacher anymore. The Patronus, I'm not sure. It seems a bit too malty. I've gone off it, the Perlenbacher. It used to be fantastic when it first came out. My choice of Weissbier. But what I did, I put them up against, I think I put it up against Aldi's, and then I think I put it up against Franziskaner, and it was like, Franziskaner was a world away from the Aldi Weissbier and the Lidl Patronus Weissbier. You realise how malty these beers are. And that's the reason why I drink a lot of Franziskaner these days, is because of that very review. But if they had something like this on a permanent basis, then I would review this and drink this. I would review it on a permanent basis. I'd drink it on a permanent basis. I like that enough to give it a solid 9 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.